Hey, my peeps. Sorry, I can't be with you today. I'm going to finish up the notes. So if you guys can listen to these notes, that would be great. And then you're going to take a quizzes assignment. It will not be due until the end of the period tomorrow. So if you're having trouble with it at all, we'll go over it in class before you submit. Okay. So it's only 3 attempts. So if you do the first 2 attempts and you don't do well on it, just wait for me for tomorrow. Okay. So let's get started on the notes and you guys can follow along as I go. We had finished this example, so we were on this example. It's the second page of the notes where it starts out with this guy. So let's just recap what we are using. We're either using that the angle is equal to half the arc, or we're using the arc is equal to 2 times the angle, depending on what you're trying to find and what you're given. Okay. So in this case, you see we're trying to find the angle. So I know we're going to use this formula. Angle equals 1/2 the arc. All right. So let's just go over here and say, okay, do I have the arc that it's associated with? Unfortunately, I do not, right? So this angle here is what I'm trying to find, the x, but this is the arc that's associated with that angle, and I don't have that. All right, so let's start thinking. We have either 180 if we had a diameter, but we don't. The only other angle measures that we're using, right? The only other degrees that we're using are 360. So that's what we're using here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the 2 arcs that we do have up. So 92 plus 162 is 254, and then we're going to subtract that from 360. Okay? And what I get there is 106. So that's my arc measure. Remember, that's not exactly what I'm asking for. We needed that to now solve for the x in the angle. So use this guy. Your angle, 7x minus 10, equals 1/2 times the arc, right? So 7x minus 10 equals 1/2 of 106 is 53. We're going to add 10 to both sides to get 7x is equal to 63 and x is equal to 9. You can always pause this, remember, if I'm going too fast. If you can't write quick enough, pause it, look at the, look at my screen, jot it down, and then you can move on. All right, I'm going to start you off with the you try before you actually try it. So look, I'm giving you the arc. I'm sorry, I'm finding the arc because that's what the x is associated with. I give you the angle. So we're going to use that the arc is equal to 2 times the angle. So the arc is 4x plus 58 equals 2 times the angle, which is 67. They're associated together. All right, you can pause it. And we get x, we get x is equal to, we should have gotten x is equal to 19. All right, let's try the second try. If you want to pause it, go for it. This one's a little bit tougher, okay? This is not like a one-step problem, all right? This is definitely not a one-step problem. You have to do a little bit of work, a little bit of thinking, right? So do you notice that I have the arcs? I'm trying to find the arc. The only arc I'm missing is this guy. And again, like what we should start thinking is, okay, all my arcs added up together are equal to 360. Well, again, I need this arc in order to be able to add everything up to 360. So doesn't this arc, isn't this the pizza crust to this angle, to this pizza slice, right? So can I find what that arc is? By doing the arc is equal to 2 times the angle. I sound like a broken record here. Make sure you have this written down somewhere. So the arc is equal to 2 times 67. So I get 134. Now I have all these arcs. So let's add them up and set them equal to 360. So 134 plus 120 plus 5x plus 21 equals 360. I'd take a minute to do all that jazz. Pause it if you would like. And x is equal to, I believe, 17. All right, again, if you didn't jot everything down, pause it, jot it down. Let's move along. All right, so this is pretty similar. I actually think I went over this the other day, but I don't have a record of it. So I'm just gonna jot in those, I'm gonna write these notes in again for you. And I'm gonna explain it again. So if you now we're talking specifically about a diameter. So we know that a diameter means I have to talk about 180 degrees. But if I'm talking about 180 degrees and an inscribed angle, remember the angle is half the arc. So half of 180, that's how you get your right angle. And the measure of angle BAC, here we go, is 90 degrees. So always, it's always across, the 90 degrees is always across from the diameter. I don't know, we definitely didn't jot that down. So if you have some of these notes, jot that down in addition to it, okay? Oh, great. All right, so let's go to the examples. So like I said, the 90 degrees is across from the diameter. I will be very specific on your test and your review that something that AB is the diameter. So that means you know the angle across from it to X is equal to 90. We get X is equal to 45, and you're done. Go to example 2. Again, the angle across from the diameter, MK being the diameter, is X. So X is equal to 90. And then look, you have your triangle. So let's do 90 plus 40 is 130. And we're going to subtract from 180 because that's how many degrees there are in an actual triangle, right? And we get 50. So Y is equal to 50. I'm going to go over this third example with you. You can do the first try after you can pause it, and then I'll help you out with the next try. Okay, so take a look at example 3. I'm trying to find FE. Okay, so I'm kind of harping on a couple things here. Whether you're looking at it as the diameter, you're looking at what you're given. I'm going to go with what you're given. So does everybody see here that what you're given is this 63 degrees right here? Okay, so you're given an angle. Let's go with the associated arc. There it is. DF is the crust of the pizza slice, right? It's what closes the angle. All right. So that means I know that the arc is equal to 2 times the angle again. So this arc is equal to 63 times 2, which is 126. Okay. What I also give you is DE is the diameter. So don't I know this whole thing is 180, right? I know that this is the diameter. This whole thing is 180. So to find FE, all I have to do is 180 minus 126. And I get 54 degrees. Now, there is definitely a different way to do this. You could have done it as saying this was 90. You could have figured out that this angle was 27. And then if this is the angle and that's the associated arc, you could do 27 times 2 to get the arc. And that is also 54. Give it a try so you can pause, give this guy a try. And you can look at this one and give that one a try. All right. All right, so back at it, we know that WY is the diameter. So 5x, the angle across from the diameter, has to be 90. So X is equal to 18. And then this one, a little bit trickier, but we can still do it. Again, I'm going to do it how I did up here the first way. I know that this 43, which is what I'm given, right, is associated with this arc. This angle is associated with this arc. So therefore, I know the arc is 2 times the angle. So 2 times 43 is 86, right? Again, because I know ST is the diameter, I know this whole thing is 180. So can I do 86 plus 9x minus 14 equals 180? Now you're going to subtract 86 from both sides. You get 9x minus 14 equals 10. No, I lied. Equals 94. No, it doesn't. What am I doing? Hold on. No, equals 10. Hold on a moment. 94, I was right. equals 94. Did I say that? No, I said 104. Sorry. So 9x now equals 108 because I'm going to add 14 to both sides. And you divide to get x equals 12. That's a tough one. So if you need to hear me repeat that, just go back and play that again. Again, let me tell you the other way you could have done it. You know, this is a right angle. You could have solved for angle S, which would have been 47. Remember, the arc is equal to 2 times the angle. So what you could have done was say that the arc, 9x minus 14, equals 2 times 47. If you do all that algebra jazz, you get the same answer as x equals 12. Okay? Okay, so I know this is a little bit much, but again, listen to me again if you need to. Shoot me a text here and there if you need to ask me any questions. Again, you are being assigned a quizzes, so do the best you can. Again, if you do 2 attempts, wait on the 3rd attempt. That's all you're allowed, and we could talk about it in class on Friday. All right? Have a great rest of the day. Peace.